Okay. That's gone red. That's gone red.
Playing Michael Jackson on the guitar. Sorry about that.
Right, you ready?
Now, the Tories on the London Assembly, so this is Boris Johnson's local council, they
Yes.
want to sell the names of tube lines and stations to private companies. If they have
Really?
their way, we might be having to get used to taking the Primark line to Burberry Bond Street, the Big Mac to Rennie's Earls Court, and the Viagra to Virgin Victoria, before going on to the Mothercare Monument.
My head is in my hands.
This would apparently raise £136 million and keep the fares down for 1 year.
I mean, I don't know. What would they do? What would they do? Print the maps? Reprint the maps? What would they do? What would be the case?
Yeah, they would reprint everything and they'd put the, it's just like, what's the name of the London Eye, by the way? You know the name of the London Eye?
No.
It's called the EDF London Eye.
Yes, it is. You're right. Oh, no, sorry, right. It's whatever sponsors, whatever they're whoring it out to, isn't it?
They're trying to get it done first by renaming North Greenwich Tube Station O2, you see? And if they can get it renamed O2, then this opens the way for other things being renamed. Like, for example, Bond Street could be renamed Selfridges. You see? And
really?
The name would be written on the tube maps. It would be written on the tube stations as an advert.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, what would happen? Would it be like
what's those little blue bicycles that you can hire? What is that, by the way?
Barclays bikes.
Oh, it's a Barclays bike, isn't it?
Yeah, well, but some people call it Boris because it's nice.
They do call it Boris.
It's nice and cuddly, isn't it?
But it's a Barclays bike, isn't it?
Yes. No, but hold on. Can I just let's take a step back, right? There is no justification in this because a Boris bike or a Barclays bike, the reason it's called that is because Boris instigated it and Barclays created it. They even paid for them, right? I don't mind that. That service was never there before. It has no institutional value, and it's quite nice that this company has stepped forward, regardless of their drug connotations and fraudulent crimes. But it's nice to know that a company came forward and supplied something, and it's called a Barclays bike. This is a public service thing, and what are they going to call it if Selfridges goes bust as a recession? The station formerly known as Selfridges. I've heard there are some desperate fathers about these days.
Desperate?
Yeah.
They can't be that desperate if they can spend £14 to get into Westminster Abbey.
How do you know it was the bit that you pay £14 for?
Well, you can't get inside without paying.
Okay. Just to let everybody else know that's listening, the hunchback who's living in a council flat in Peckham, right?
You're talking about the Queen?
yes. Right. No. Desperate father sprays paint over British Queen's portrait, right? And unfortunately, see, was he desperate, or was he desperate to spray the picture of the Queen? That's the big question. Perhaps
he was desperate for the toilet, and so he sprayed.
Yes.
He sprayed the Queen. Are you talking about Lord Harris of Peckham?
Who did what? No.
This is very confusing.
Okay, right. Let's go back. Let's put everything straight because the listeners will not understand. Right, a guy's gone in Fathers for Justice, a member of Fathers for Justice, and he's basically spray painted a portrait of the Queen, which is hanging in Westminster Abbey. Now, explain where the Lord from Peckham came from.
Or the painting that was vandalised with turquoise paint was bought for the Queen or for Westminster Abbey by Lord Harris of Peckham. His real name is Philip Charles Harris, Baron Harris of Peckham.
You see, that's like that's a businessman, isn't it? That's not a natural lord. That isn't someone who's been sort of dragged up through the night tree.
He was appointed to the board of Arsenal Football Club as non-executive director in November 2005.
What I want to know is how these people are getting these jobs, right? Like Kenneth Clark is minister without a portfolio. This guy's just managed to get a no job as well, isn't he?
A nose job?
A no job. Just a no job. Just doesn't do it. He's not doing a job, is he? I mean, read that title again. He's not real. It's not a real job.
Lord Harris of Peckham?
Yeah.
He's the 106th richest person in Britain.
Well, who's going to make him work then anyway? You know? Sorry, I'm getting really carried away. My tea. We're quite coof tonight because I'm drinking tea. What are you drinking? You're on your vitamins.
I've got some vitamins. I haven't taken one.
Either that or you got trouble with your gallstones again.
I'm not that desperate.
No. So anyway, she's 87 years old, the Queen, bless her. Well, I'm not going to bless her at all, actually. But actually,
she doesn't need your help.
No, not at all. Not with the pay rise she's just had. And the thing is, though, it's like the way they've written the article. It looks like you're not quite. He was desperate, obviously, to see his kids, but also he could have seen the painting and been desperate to paint over it. Because I would be. And it was a lovely colour too, but it was probably the colour of the dress she was wearing. Was it turquoise?
Well, yeah. No, I think she probably does wear turquoise quite a lot.
Too much.
So David Icke used to wear turquoise, didn't he? It's like the colour of spiritual enlightenment.
Is it?
So do you think he was trying to,
I'm not googling
bring
that.
bring some spiritual enlightenment to the Queen, maybe?
I just think he was.
Or do you think that possibly he just wanted to create a thing called #Fathers for Justice turquoise paint?
I think so, but I think also, well, he was probably trying to cover up as well. Oh, what was that? Is somebody trying to talk to you?
Huh?
I'm getting all plink plinks in my ear.
Plink plink.
Yeah, it must be people coming on and offline on Skype. It's an exciting thing, Skype.
It's not as exciting as spray painting in Westminster Abbey.
They closed it early, didn't they?
They did. They closed it like straight away. So like as soon as anybody abuses a painting in Westminster Abbey, they shut the whole fucking thing down.
Well, that's the thing. Well, the thing is, though, think about all those photographs that weren't taken. Think about all those Chinese and Japanese people that are just finger trigger happy on the old shutter button.
I think they were worried about photographs of this painting because you be sure nobody is going to be able to allowed to see this painting with shit all over it or turquoise.
I'd love to see it if he did shit all over it.
Yeah, I don't think he did.